What up, people? This is your boy Dedrian Colon from House of Wrestling, and this is my review for the January 28th episodes of WWE Smackdown and AEW Rampage. Let me tell you, tonight, very good wrestling. It was fun, it was entertaining, there was a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy. I enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm going to start off with SmackDown because there's so much buzz and hype surrounding the WWE Royal Rumble. I honestly feel like this Royal Rumble is going to be very fun. The outcomes could vary as far as with the title matches and stuff like that. But yeah, this is going to be a fun pay-per-view tomorrow. I can't wait. And this SmackDown, honestly, this was a better go-home show than the Raw. But yeah, this show was really cool. It started off with Charlotte giving her promo. Then you had Shayna Baszler come out, which was like, oh, okay, she actually has new music, which is, why did you have to change it? But that's a whole nother video and everything. Then we had Aaliyah come out, and then we had Natalya, then we had Shotzi. When I seen this, I'm like, okay, somebody else is going to come out. They're probably going to turn this into a 6-woman tag right away to start off SmackDown, which they've done that numerous times before. So I was like, okay, who's the 6th person? And lo and behold, we have a returning Sasha Banks. I love it. Apparently she is, well, there were a few weeks ago, it was reported that she was going to miss some time, and she's back, and she's going to be in the Royal Rumble. So this is going to be fun. There was a big melee and everything. All the women were fighting. And then at the end, you had Charlotte and Sasha Banks facing each other. Charlotte tried to kick her. Charlotte tried to kick Sasha. Sasha caught it. Did this, like her feet stunk and everything, and hit Charlotte over the ropes. So Sasha Banks is going to be in the Royal Rumble, which right now, there is so much anticipation, excitement, interest, and I am going to use this word very strongly, intrigue, regarding the women's Royal Rumble match. I am looking forward to that match. The news that's breaking, the reports that are being, out there as far as a few of the women that will be surprise entrants. Gonna be fun. This is gonna be a fun pay-per-view. But yeah, that opening segment was pretty fun. But I wish it wouldn't have started off so like kind of slowish and kind of like we've seen this before. Because once Sasha Banks came out, then that's when everything picked up. And honestly, that's when the show just took off. Another thing that I liked about SmackDown was the Naomi Sonya Deville match, which threw me for a loop because I thought it was going to be the way it started. Sonya Deville, she was kind of evading Naomi, and it's like, okay, this is probably going to play out where Sonya Deville, she's going to evade her, then get counted out. Then Adam Pearce or another authority figure is going to come out like, you know what, since you evaded her, we're going to put you in the Royal Rumble match. And then, they're going to have their little beef, their little moments at the Rumble tomorrow. But no, that was not the case. After the Sonya Deville evading Naomi, they had a really good match, really fun match. You can tell that Sonya Deville was kind of not laying in her work that we're accustomed to, which, all right, it's a return match. All right, cool. And surprisingly, Naomi won, which myself and along with a lot of other people, we hope this feud is over with. The payoff, it is what it is. I don't know what the end game was or if there was an end game, but thankfully, that end game arrived. And after the match, Naomi gave this speech that she's going to win the Royal Rumble, which happens every year. Every person, no matter if they're a man or a woman, they say, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. At least 20 people say that, and only one from each Rumble wins. But yeah, Sonya Deville, she got the mic, and she's like, well, I got a surprise for you. Tomorrow, I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble. So apparently Sonya Deville is returning to in-ring action, which I like that. That's really dope. She's always been a very terrific wrestler. I really wish they would put her and Shayna Baszler together and actually do something with the women's tag team title scene, because it's just there. Like, you could do some really cool stuff, and I wish they would do that. But yeah, I'm glad this is finally over with. Well, it appears that it's over with. With WWE, they might call it back tomorrow at the Royal Rumble, but we'll see what happens. Another thing I liked was Big E's back. Apparently he's on SmackDown. Him and Kofi fought. It was really good to see Big E back on TV. What I didn't like was that it seems like they put Big E and Kofi back into what they were 2 years ago, where they're just, there. It doesn't feel like Big E is in that main event scene that he was literally the start of this month when he fought at day one. It just seems like he's back to the mid card, him and Kofi. They fought Madcap Moss and Baron Corbin, which I tweeted, all four of these guys need to be doing more than what they are being created to do right now. All four guys are terrific wrestlers. Madcap Moss has a terrific physique for him to be doing that corny stuff. Baron Corbin, nobody has kicked out of the End of Days, which, if nobody's kicked out of the End of Days this many years, like, he shouldn't be Happy Corbin. He should be going after Seth Rollins in that mix. He was a major player back when SmackDown did the initial, when they did the initial brand split back in 2016. Yeah, so it's like, come on, man. But yeah, it was good to see Big E back, but in that way, it's just like, so yeah, I did predict him winning the Royal Rumble. For me, that's the only guy that I see logically that makes sense to win the Royal Rumble, unless what's been floated around out there is that either Brock or Roman are going to lose their titles and then get in the Rumble and win the Royal Rumble match, which would be fucking stupid. Yes, it would be stupid to do that. I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it's like, if you're going to have Brock or Roman into the Royal Rumble and then win, to just have them win the match. Like, it doesn't make sense. So unless, I don't feel like WWE booked themselves in a corner. What I do think is that they're creating themselves to be put in the corner. Like, they're putting themselves in a corner that they don't necessarily have to do it, because they're trying to fit all these people in at the same time. And of course, we have Elimination Chamber going next month, with this technically 3 weeks, not 2 weeks, like I said on a previous video that I recorded. So see what happens with that. Then we had Cesaro get his nose broke, and it was kind of like a retaliation after what happened with Ridge Holland a few weeks back with Ricochet, because you had Cesaro and Ricochet versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland, so they kind of returned the favor, and you have that thing there. The other thing that I liked about SmackDown, and I know those of you watching who watch SmackDown like, man, you didn't cover this, you didn't cover that. A lot of the stuff that happened, whether it was Sami Zayn and Shinsuke, the backstage segments and stuff like that, it maintained the show, but it wasn't like something that would stand out and like, ooh, man, I have to go back on YouTube and watch this again like, oh man, this was so dope. So if you guys are watching, that's why this is just mostly stuff that stood out for me for both shows. But yeah, you had Roman and Seth Rollins. This was a really cool interaction and confrontation right before tomorrow's Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns, again, he's, I'm in God mode. Seth Rollins gives a line that I've always better than you. He reminds Roman, hey, I know you didn't like it when I hit the chair shot behind you. And Roman's like, no, I hated you for that. You turned on us. And if you watch this, and I recommend for those of you who are going to watch this review, go back and watch that segment after this video. Watch that segment and watch Roman Reigns' reaction and mannerisms. Myself, also Jonathan Hood from Wrestling Tuesday, and a few other people on Twitter noticed, like, hey, Seth Rollins just turned Roman Reigns heel by this, or face, with this promo. Like, wait a minute, did they just turn Roman Reigns face in this promo with his mannerisms and how he interacted with Seth Rollins? So that's a very interesting thing that that transpired on SmackDown. Of course, Roman left, tried to do the Superman punch with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins rolled out. You had, of course, that closing shot of, between Seth laughing and Roman angry and stuff like that. So that's one thing about SmackDown that, one of the many things about SmackDown that really, SmackDown was a good show. It was a really good show. Again, there was a few spots, here or there, but for the most part, after Sasha Banks appeared on screen, that energy just picked up. It just flew by. So yeah, I recommend you guys watch that Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns promo. Honestly, that's about it. And then watch Sasha Banks return. That's pretty much it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that match in the Royal Rumble. I'm looking forward to who's going to win the men's and women's Royal Rumble, where the titles are going to go, if Brock and Roman are going to retain, or, Lashley and Seth are going to win the titles. Who knows? But yeah, that Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins promo was really good, but it did leave you, the Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins promo did leave you with, did they just subtly turn Roman Reigns face? Trust me, go back, watch that video, you'll like, huh? So that's how SmackDown left you. So you go back and watch that. But in regards to AEW Rampage, and tonight, again, with the energy, the excitement, the anticipation of the Royal Rumble, and then, of course, AEW Rampage starts right after. Started off with a banger, and it was kind of interesting. I tweeted this, that SmackDown ended with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns confrontation for the Royal Rumble. And as soon as you turn to AEW Rampage, you had Jon Moxley coming out. So it's like, man, that's pretty interesting. You got all three Shield members, like, kind of like in this sequence, if you're a wrestling fan watching both programs, like, man, it's pretty cool. And that was a really good match. Jon Moxley versus Anthony Bowens. Anthony Bowens is a fantastic wrestler. I enjoy watching his work. It's very fluid. It tells a story. Him and Max Caster are so damn entertaining. Max Caster, his rap tonight, please check that out. It was funny. It was really funny. It was really cool. He ended his rap looking at Moxley. He's like, yeah, the network, telling you to shut your mouth, along those lines. But it was pretty funny. But yeah, this match, I recommend you guys see this match. For me, I enjoyed this match. And it's not a diss at the main event, but I like this because the crowd was already like excited because of the start of the show, and it just maintained that excitement. There was a lot of cool spots here. Man, the way that the Acclaimed has been getting a lot of spots as far as Rampage matches and stuff like that, and even Dynamite. And I wouldn't be surprised if they get the tag team titles this year at some point. I would not be surprised. They've been putting in the work. Max Caster, his promo game and his raps leading into the ring the past 2 months have been very, very good. Who knows? I mean, they're a great tag team. They're a fun tag team. They're entertaining. What I like about the Acclaimed is that they don't do too much outside of, who they are, but they don't do too little where it's like, man, they could do a little bit more. Like, it's that fine line, but then as they're getting more matches and everything, you're just seeing them grow upon who they are as the Acclaimed. I like it. I enjoyed it. And then after that match, after Moxley won, you cut backstage to, it was funny because this segment kind of looked like something you'd see in WWE, but who cares? I liked it. You have a Bryan Danielson who is looking at the monitor as Jon Moxley is celebrating, and the commentator's like, whoa, 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 look at this. You got Bryan Danielson keeping an eye on Jon Moxley, and Bryan Danielson, he turns to the camera, he looks back at the monitor of Moxley, looks back at the camera, smiles, and then walks away. So apparently that is going to be the match. I figure that's going to be AEW Revolution next month for the pay-per-view. So it looks like we might get Moxley and Bryan Danielson. I'm all for that. That's gonna be dope. Moxley, since his return, he's gotten a lot quicker, a lot smoother. You could tell the time that he's taken before he took time off. You could tell there was times when he was wrestling, like it was just like, he was doing things, but it just didn't have that crispness. Whatever it is. The sharpness. There you go. I'm going to use that word since I'm tongue-tied and crisp. Like the sharpness and the detail in the moves and the execution. You could tell it was kind of like, but man, since he's been back, he's killed it. Like it's smooth. I love it, man. Good job, Jon Moxley. Glad you're doing better. And then after that, you had a really funny, for me, it was funny segment with Andrade and his sidekick. I forgot to do his name. He always has the tablet. And they go into Sting's locker room. And it's funny because Andrade's sidekick, they're talking to the camera. He's like, well, you have to knock on the door. And Andrade screams, hey, just open the door. Open the I'm like, oh my God, it was funny. So you have this interaction where Andrade still, like, it's funny because Andrade thinks like Darby's Sting's servant, and he's like, where's your manager? You work for him. He's like, no, I don't work for you. I don't work for Sting. So they have this brief interaction, and Darby's like, you know what, that's it. And then Andrade's sidekick stops him from getting up, and Darby's like, oh, okay. Darby reaches behind the couch that he was sitting in and pulls out this bat, and they're like, oh, okay. So Andrade and the sidekick back away and everything. So if this leads to a match between Darby Allin and Andrade at Revolution, that's going to be a fire match. Woo, boy, that's going to be sweet. Another cool thing that I liked about AEW Rampage was the Brock Anderson, Lee Johnson versus FTR match. This match, two things I liked about it. One, Brock Anderson. He is smooth. He has his dad's timing. He doesn't rush anything. He has great pacing in the match. His chemistry with FTR, man, they got some good chemistry. And then, of course, you had an interaction between Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, and it broke my heart that Arn Anderson hit Tully Blanchard. I didn't like it. I want Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson to be together so they could reform the Horsemen. Like, come on, man. No. But nonetheless, that's the two things I liked about this match. I don't know how long they're going to have Lee Johnson with Brock Anderson. Lee Johnson, he's got great speed, but it's almost like his speed and how he wrestles and how Brock Anderson wrestle, like, I could see why they put it together, like, because they're young, but like in a way it doesn't mesh. Like, it's like they need to eventually go their separate ways. I honestly, when I saw Brock Anderson and FTR in the ring, I'm like, man, it would be really cool if the FTR were mentors to Brock Anderson. That would be so cool, so dope. They might do it even after Arn Anderson hit Tully Blanchard. We'll see where that goes. Jade Cargill, money, man, money. I'm not surprised she squashed Julia Hart. It's funny on commentary. All the commentators are like, well, because Julia Hart got some offense in, but it was just Jade Cargill just whooped her. It's funny because the commentators were like, well, Griff Garrison warned Jill Hart not to do it. Those are the consequences. So that's what happens. But yeah, she looked good. Man, she's only going to get better. I tweeted this. Jade Cargill reminds me of how China was in 1998. And if you remember in 99, that's when China started wrestling, having more matches. In 99, Jade Cargill is only going to get better. She's got that look. She looks like Storm from Marvel Comics, which is so dope. It's a great, unique look. I look forward to more matches of Jade Cargill. Then you had, they were promoting next week's Rampage, so we're going to get, I believe, Mercedes Martinez versus Thunder Rosa, and we're going to get Ricky Starks and Jay Lethal. That's pretty cool. I've actually enjoyed the last month of Rampages. They've been pretty fun. They have been really fun to watch and just sit back and, hey, it's Friday night. Hey, let me just watch some wrestling after Smackdown. Oh, man, this is pretty cool. And it's a great alternative to what you see in WWE. It's so much fun. I like it. So, yeah, we're getting that apparently next Rampage next week. So, I'm looking forward to it. The main event, Jurassic Express and Private Party. I enjoy this match. It was really cool to see all four of these young tag teams get this exposure. I do like the fact that AEW on Rampage, they're giving a lot of young guys like this TV time. I do wish they would like include more of the women in the factions. Like you can incorporate the men and women together organically. It's there. It's creatively there. If 30 people on social media can come up with it, and I know it's more than 30 people, AEW, you can do it. That's the only thing that I wish they would include more women, have more women's matches and stuff like that, because you do have 2 titles. It makes sense. But yeah, Jurassic Express, Private Party, this is a really good match. Me describing it doesn't do justice. I recommend you guys watch this match. Mark Quinn, and I hope I got his name right, and Isaiah Cassidy, they're fun. Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus. I do got to commend Luchasaurus. If you watch my reviews and just my tweets, it's not that I don't like Luchasaurus. It's just a lot of matches that he's been in. For me, the matches weren't very fluid. It was kind of clunky, and it kind of took me out of the match. But he has gotten so much better since they won the tag titles, and actually since the Lucha Brothers Jurassic Express match, where unfortunately Rey Fenix got hurt. So I could tell he's improved. He's the last 2 matches, like he's been really good. Jungle Boy, he's just going to that another level. But yeah, this was a really good match. I recommend you see this. After the match, you had the Ass Boys, or the Gun Club, Austin and Colton Gunn, attack Jurassic Express and hold the tag title. So apparently we're going to have that feud. I like this because you're getting 3 young tag teams that, if you really think about it, it's 3 young tag teams, and you have the managers, so to speak, have multiple tag team title reigns. You have Christian with the Jurassic Express, of course, with Edge and Christian, and of course with Chris Jericho. You have Matt Hardy with his brother Jeff Hardy, multiple tag team champion reigns. And then you have Billy Gunn and the multiple tag team champion reigns he had with Bart Gunn, Roll Dogg, and Chuck. So you had, like, that's a really cool dynamic that it makes sense. So it's like, oh man, this is really interesting. But you can tell and you can sense that Private Party and Matt Hardy, again, remember, HFO is bought by Andrade. So you can tell that this is going to lead to an eventual Jeff and Matt Hardy reunion on AEW, which is going to be pretty dope. But yeah, that was my review of the AEW Rampage and WWE SmackDown episodes for January 28th. Royal Rumble, man, it's got me geeked. It's got me excited. This is fun. This is a fun time of year. Me personally, Royal Rumble is the most fun WWE pay-per-view, and pretty much the most fun wrestling pay-per-view for me. It's the most fun. And I know you're like, how does that even make, like, what did you just say? Hey, that's how it got me excited. I'm so discombobulated. And I know Jay Hood's probably going to see this. Yes, I use discombobulated in a video. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Like, share, comment, subscribe, follow House of Wrestling on all social media platforms. Follow me, Dedrian Colon, or Dedrian180 on TikTok. Again, at Dedrian180. That's Dedrian 180. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. You could follow my page on Facebook. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate the love, support, the views, the retweets, the likes, the comments. Hey, just enjoy wrestling, all right? It's the House of Wrestling. Enjoy wrestling, man. It's fun. Let's just escape from whatever we're going through in life and just enjoy professional wrestling, all right? I'm Dedrian Colon. This is House of Wrestling. I'm out.